Hello, ladies and gentlemen of America, Precision Politics coming at you again with another 2020 presidential election video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the best possible case for Donald Trump's camp come election night. Now, this is a more reasonable expectation. I feel a more tame expectation than maybe other maps some other people will create. But I am only going to give Trump the states where I think it is only a somewhat reasonable chance that he will walk away with on election night. So this is the default 270towin.com map made from consensus polling data and other things. So let's get right into it. First, a toss-up in Maine's 2nd district. So let's just give that to Trump. Let's go back and let's do actual states now. Pennsylvania, Donald Trump is losing to Joe Biden in by 4.5 points. However, Trump did do well in Pennsylvania in 2016, thrashed the polls, won the state. And if we apply that to Joe Biden's lead here, cuts it down in half by about 2 points. That's within a margin of error, especially with Pennsylvania having ballots only be allowed to be recorded on election day. Maybe there's some issues there, so we're definitely going to give Pennsylvania to Donald Trump. Going to Ohio, Trump is currently polling in the lead by 1 point against Biden. No need to say any more. That goes red. Iowa, Trump thrashed the polls here in 2016, and Biden is only in the lead by 1 point. Trump took the state in 2016, so there's no reason to say that 1 point lead won't be overcome as well this year. Let's go down south to North Carolina. Now, North Carolina, Biden currently in the lead by 2 points here. However, with the Cal Cunningham issue, maybe that gets lessened a little bit. And with Trump's overperformance of the 2016 polls for North Carolina, it actually puts him within a mere 0.5 point of Joe Biden. Actually puts him in the lead by 0.5 point. In my actual opinion, I think North Carolina goes down on the wire. It probably is subject to a recount. But so that's definitely within the purpose of our map to color that red. Florida, probably the purest purple state that this country has, always within a few points every single election. Biden currently up by 2 points here. Definitely possible, though, with this coin flip of a state that we get a Trump victory here. So we're just going to color that red. Georgia was not in play in 2016, but is turning blue and is this time. Biden actually with a 2 or 3 point lead here in the polls. Now, of course, this being a deep south state, it's just starting to turn blue. Definitely very feasible that the polls jump to a conclusion here and Trump retains it for now, and maybe it goes blue some other election. Going out west, Nevada, Hillary Clinton actually did the outperforming here, took the state. She outperformed it by a few points. Biden in the lead by a few points here. No reason to see why Biden would suddenly be subject to an outperformance by Donald Trump. I don't think the tables turn here. I think Nevada has to stay blue. Arizona was very accurate in the polling in 2016. It was showing Donald Trump with a 4-point victory. It ended with a 3.5 point victory for Donald Trump in 2016. This time around, exact opposite's true. Biden has a 4-point lead here. I do not see anything more than another accurate or at least semi-accurate result here in Arizona. That has to stay blue as well. Going up north, first, let's do Wisconsin. Wisconsin, a state that Donald Trump absolutely destroyed in 2016. He actually barely won the state after outperforming the polls by 7.2 percentage points. Biden with about a 5-point lead here. No reason to see why that wouldn't be eviscerated if Trump does as well as was in Wisconsin as he did in 2016. So Wisconsin gonna go red to Trump. Minnesota, this is probably the furthest stretch I'm going to be comfortable doing for a map like this. Minnesota, Clinton was up big. Trump cut into that lead a little bit, and Clinton finished with a 2-point victory here. Biden currently has the same lead as Clinton did, and I do not see it turning for Trump. However, I think it could be considered reasonable given that Clinton only had a few points worth of a win here. This is the furthest I'm going to go for Trump, and barely give him Minnesota. Michigan did go to Donald Trump in 2016, but Biden has an 8-point lead here. I think that's just a little too much to say that Trump's going to overperform. And maybe in Wisconsin, not in Michigan. By the way, Wisconsin doesn't allow election results to be counted after Election Day, so maybe that's another reason that goes red. Finally, so while we're keeping Michigan blue, we're going to go over to New Hampshire. New Hampshire was virtually tied in 2016, barely went to Clinton. However, this time around, while a lot of people, I think, want to give New Hampshire maybe over to Trump a little bit, an 11-point lead in the polls by Biden. I think that's insurmountable. I think New Hampshire has to stay blue. And this is where we finalize our map, therefore. Biden with 250, Trump 288. It is a somewhat narrow, but still a victory for Donald Trump here. I think this is about the furthest stretch you can have to call it somewhat reasonable. This takes a lot of states like Pennsylvania, where they may have 5-point leads in the polls for Biden, but if you factor in that overperformance from 2016, it cuts it down by about half, and then you're within a margin of error. So I think that is about the furthest reasonable extent you can make. I don't think it's really reasonable to say he's going to, for example, do twice as good at overperforming as he did in 2016, especially with more accurate polling this time around, and Joe Biden not being as despised as Hillary Clinton is. I just think that this is the furthest reasonable map you can make. I definitely think, though, in a manner of speaking, it is on that dice that you will roll on Election Day. I think this is a possibility that Trump is hoping for to get the narrow victory on Biden. I'm going to do a map like this for Joe Biden very shortly, saying his best case scenario, but this is where I'm going to go for Trump right now, showing him with a narrow victory. This is the furthest that I think will be a reasonable outcome for Election Day. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to Precision Politics, and I will see you again next